Alam niyo po, nung naging viral ang kanyang mga litrato online at nakilala siya ng mga tao, sabi niya, it was like achieving something not just for myself, but for everyone who were labeled as misfits, weirdos, and freaks. Kaya naman ngayon, kasama natin ang magna cum laude graduate from the University of San Jose, Recoletos, and is now working as a language and communication trainer in a BPO company. Kasama po natin, Didi Villegas. Hi, Didi!
Hi, Tony. Good day.
Actually, first time ni Didi dito sa Manila.
Very true. First time.
First time mo ba sumakay sa aeroplano?
Very first time din.
Thank you! Kasi taga Cebu talaga si Didi.
Yes.
Saan sa Cebu ka lumaki?
Mandaue City, born and raised.
Ano yung mga hobbies mo nung bata ka?
Nung bata ko, I was more into books. I was exposed naman po ng mga laro-laro sa labas, pero mas more na nasa bahay. Weird kasi ako nung bata pa lang ako.
Bakit? Paano mo
So,
masasabing weird ka nung bata ka?
Yung mga pinapanood ng mga bata, usually yung mga cartoons.
Princess Sarah,
Princess
Sedi.
Sedi.
Oh.
Pero yung mga pinapanood ko at that time, yung mga movies na mga horror films, like Friday the 13th,
Oh my
Chucky, mga ganun. The Exorcist.
Bata ka pala mahilig ka na sa horror. Dahil,
True. There's something to it na parang
hindi ka natatakot?
hindi ako natatakot.
Kamusta yung relationship mo sa daddy mo?
My dad is very supportive. Like, hindi ko naranasan yung mag-come out as gay because I think bata pa lang ako. Parang alam na nila.
Kailan lumabas yung parang naramdaman mo na parang I'm a woman trapped in a man's body?
Pagkakaalala ko, I was in grade 6 or 5. Pero sabi nila, ni mom tsaka dad, since I was like grade 1 pa lang daw, may signs na
May
daw.
inkling na.
May may mga...
Pahiwatig.
Pahiwatig
Oo. Bakit?
na.
Ano daw yung mga pahiwatig noon?
Kasi mga Spice Girls yung sinasayaw ko as a kid. May palabas mga Power Rangers. Ako yung si Power Ranger Pink palagi. So parang, tapos ayaw ko si Princess Sedi. Si Princess Sarah talaga ako.
Princess Sarah tayo. Oo. Pero nung grade 5 and 6, sabi mo, yun ang turning point dahil...
Sa public school kasi, I remember may mga nagvi-visit na mga preacher sa amin before. Like mga, tawag namin doon is mga religion teachers or ganon from our church. And that was the time na parang they discussed something about hell.
Ano sabi sa'yo?
They told me na mapupunta daw sa impyerno yung mga bakla, mga ganon.
So, paano mo hinandle yun after mo marinig yun?
Pag uwi ko sa bahay, umiyak talaga ako. I was crying. When I told my mom na, paano pag napunta akong impyerno? So, hindi ko kayo makita ni dad doon. Ganon. So, ayun. And they handled it better than myself.
Ano sinabi ng mami?
Sinabi naman ni mom na yung hell daw is like, iba-ibang perception daw ng tao yun. I think yun yung important kasi
Yung
as a
love.
gay kid, you really have to find a safe space. Ang pag-uwi mo talaga yung important part, being a part of the LGBT society. Honestly, Miss Tony, may time talaga na I was so rebellious, na doon nagsimula yung peer pressure, yung parang wala na akong pake.
Pag sinabi mong rebelde, in what way?
Like, I don't go to church na talaga. That time.
Stop na.
Oo.
Nag-drugs ka?
Yes, I think I tried everything when I was younger, like mga 20 years ago. No, 10 years ago. I even went through rehab for alcohol.
Umiinom ka nung time na yun kasi?
Pag high school at nung college, doon na rin nag-start yung bullying.
Bullying.
Bullying talaga. I think sa mga panahon na yon, uso pa talaga, wala pa kasing social media.
Nag-come out ka ba nun kaya ka binuli?
Parang yung mga kasabayan ko at that age, they were still having that mindset na pagbakla ka, end up ka sa parlor, ganon. Yung mga common misconceptions sa amin.
Kahit na magna cum laude, kahit ang tali-talino mo nun?
Somehow. And siguro yan yung rason na I really worked hard for it to prove them wrong. Ay, iyak talaga ako.
Kasi yung, alam mo yung bullying, ano yan, may lifelong effect sa isang bata. Dinadala natin yun eh. Because words spoken can never be forgotten. Minsan mas nakakalimutan natin pa yung papuri eh. Pero yung masasakit,
Very true.
Like, to this day, may naalala ka ba na worst thing na nasabi sa'yo when you were bullied?
Just the word bakla itself, yung ganyang edad, yung pinagsisigawan ka lang ng mga lalaki sa school, just the one word, bakla, bakla, bakla. Like for us, it's just a word. But if it comes from somebody who's not bakla, pag galing sa taong hindi man lang naranasan maging bakla, it really hurts. Up until to this day.
Kailan nag-start yung paglalagay mo ng tattoo sa katawan?
18 years old talaga. I still remember it up to this
Ano yung
day.
unang-unang tattoo pinilagay mo?
Hello Kitty. O, di ba ang bakla rin? Nagpatato, bakla pa rin yung design.
Saan yung Hello Kitty? Saan nakalagay?
Dito, pero na-cover na siya.
Na-cover
na
Oo.
siya. I
Nilagay
still
mo Hello
remember.
Kitty dito?
Hello Kitty dito. Tapos dito naman yung
Kerokeropi.
mga ganyan. Kasi alala mo yung
dumaan ako sa
mga...
Kerokeropi. Ikaw pala Hello Kitty.
Alala mo yung mga
Sa
time
gift
na
gate?
mga emo days.
Dito. Ano reaction ng parents mo nung una ka nagpatato?
Normal reaction ng parents is, of course, ma-shock.
Oh.
Pero so far, hindi naman ako like pinagalitan. Parang they were just worried kung ano nang pinapasukan ko. Pag nagda-drugs ka ba na? Ano, what's happening?
Oo.
Nung una kasi, I thought yung tattoo lang is paastig. Yung, ay, pag nagpatattoo ako, nito wala na maaaway sa akin. Ganon. Kasi gusto mong maging strong yung facade. Kasi bakla nga, di ba? So, ayun, nagbabakla tapos si Hello Kitty pa rin. So, ayun, may tattoo na si
Astig,
bakla.
pero Hello Kitty.
No,
Kasapakin ko kayo, may Hello Kitty ako dito.
parang ganon yung idea ko before.
Oh.
Tapos, college, nung nag-fine arts na ako, doon ako sa library namin naka-read ng book talaga pertaining to the tattoo history sa Filipino culture.
Oo.
At doon ako mas lalong na-fascinate.
Ano yung nabasa mo nun about the tattoo history in the Philippines?
Like, it's a sign of bravery. It's a sign of courage. It's a sign of civilization showing how strong the Filipinos are, which is nawala din when we were colonized. So parang nakarelate ako, oh my God, this is a sign of strength. Na parang nanakaw sa akin because I'm gay. So that lit up a fire na parang magawa nga nito. Ganun.
Oo, nilagay mo na yung art sa katawan mo.
Embrace. Tapos ang funny pa, instead pababa sa mas maraming dito pa siya.
Dito ka muna nagsimula
Siya
sa
sa face
mukha.
muna before siya napuno talaga.
So, paano ang reaksyon ng mommy at daddy mo nung
mas
family
na, mas na concern na naman sila. So parang every year meron kaming annual meeting. Meron kaming SONA. Where are we at right now?
Asa na tayo ngayon?
Ano ng
Oo.
progress? Ba't dumarami? I'm just so lucky to have such good parents. Like, siguro pag hindi namin ginawa yung yearly na meeting na yon, I'm lost. I got lost. Pero because of them being consistent sa pagtatanong, pag-a-ask, so parang even though I got more tattoos, I still have an anchor na may uuwian ako.
Alam mo, magandang lesson din yan, no? Siyempre, ako, medyo young parent din ako, no? So, alam mo, ang tinurong mo sa akin dyan sa lesson na yan is important ang communication ng magulang at anak. Kasi ang security ng isang anak ay nahahanap sa magulang, hindi sa kabarkada sa labas ng bahay. Kaya, kahit na cruel yung world outside, secure yung loob mo na may nagmamahal sa'yo. May pagmamahal sa bahay.
Absolutely.
So, you said na may mga meaning ang tattoo dahil natutunan mo yung history ng Philippine tattoo, di ba? Yung paglalagay ng tattoo. May meaning ba yan, yung mga dito?
Ayan na. Ito na yung part na mag-iiyak-iyak na eh.
Okay. Sa history na tayo ng tattoo. Okay.
Yung first ko talaga sa face, cross tsaka moon. I'm not sure if
Ayan, I
saan
see
yung
it.
moon. Tapos,
Ito yung cross, nandyan sa kabila.
tapos ito yung moon.
Anong meaning naman yan?
First, that was 2013. 2013 was a hard year for me kasi actually halos lahat ng nasa face ko is deaths of friends and family.
Yung nasa face mo?
But yung logic ko that time is gusto kong magpatattoo somewhere na masakit just to remind me how painful it was to lose a loved one.
Ang ngayon gets ko na.
And I think I chose the face to also remind myself that it's fine because whatever pain it is, you can face your problems.
Yung sa eyes ang grabe.
True.
Kaya yan ang talagang nuknukan ng pain kasi mata na yung tinatuan.
Very.
Paano tayo nakarating sa mata?
Sabi ko, I think we have to step up the game para
Talaga. Step up
maganon.
the game.
Para naman may representation yung Pinas.
Oo. So, eto na.
Ito na. So,
Pinagpaalam mo ba yan sa magulang mo?
hindi. Pagdating ko doon, isang mata ko pa lang din naman.
Gulatan na lang. Ano
Gulatan
sabi
na.
nila?
Na-shock sila.
Marami bang ganyan sa Pilipinas na nagpapatato ng mata?
After that, meron ng mga umusbong at sumunod sa step, which is I'm happy and proud of.
May side effect ba siya? Like sa eyesight mo, kamusta? Lumabo ba? Same pa rin?
Nakakakita na rin pa naman ng gwapo.
Oh, okay. Nakaka-spot
So
pa
I
rin.
think okay lang. Pero seriously, wala naman po. That's the hard part. Kasi yung artist ko kasi, he mastered it. He really researched on it scientifically.
So, hindi mo siya i-recommend na gawin ng
No.
kahit sino sa kahit sino lang?
No.
No.
Even
no.
my artist wouldn't suggest or offer it to his clients.
So, after mong gawin yung dalawang procedure na yan sa mata mo, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see?
I see somebody na strong, independent, and fulfilled. Kung
Yes.
Halloween naman, happy kasi naka-costume na agad.
May
Ganun.
costume ka na. Costume forever.
Costume forever na, ganun lang.
Paano nakarating naman yung piercing?
Actually, yung piercings yung nauna. College ako nag-start ng piercing. Tapos, every time dumadaan sa mga guard, tanggal na lahat. Yung tattoo naman is patago. Pero nung nagsimula lang dumami, that was the time that I stopped schooling before I went back.
Nakaka-receive ka ba ng like look of judgment sa mga halimbawa first time kang na-meet or naglalakad ka sa kalye, natatakot sila? Kasi black lahat ng mata mo.
Yeah, super. Like, kasi may time din na hindi ko na kayang mag-public transport kasi may physical at may physical
Discrimination?
Yeah, may mga nagpa-pray over na sa akin sa jeep.
Hindi nga.
That was the scariest.
Pinag-pray over ka sa jeep? Ano
Diba?
sabi ng prayer?
Wala, parang nag-open ng Bible tsaka gano'n. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. As in.
Grabe.
Like,
Anong ginagawa mo pag ginaganong ka sa jeep?
Wala, speechless talaga ako. Hindi ko alam kung bababa ako. Tapos yung mga kasabayan namin sa jeep is the same reaction. Parang we're just stunned. Parang paano kami magre-react? Anong sasabihin namin or what? Kasi first time ko dito. But sa Cebu kasi, it's very uso in the bus, sa jeep, na meron talagang mga nagpe-preach, ganon. Yung mga,
Missionary.
mga missionary, which is I love, by the way. I don't have anything against them because may mga friends akong ganyan. Pero that time lang siguro is very extreme. Kasi pagkaupo ko lang sa across niya, friendly naman yung first approach niya. Parang tinanong niya ako na, tanggap mo ba si Lord? Ganun. Sabi ko naman, yes po, okay naman po yung relationship na hindi naman po kami nag-aaway as
Ni Lord.
far as I remember.
Hindi kayo magkaaway ni Lord.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Tapos biglaan na lang siyang nag-pray talaga. Like may binasa siyang Bible verse tapos in Jesus name, layuan mo tong mga ganun. Judgment siguro is something na parang part na ng life ko. Hindi naman gusto kong mag-judge yung mga tao, but somehow gusto kong may judgment kasi there's something to prove people wrong of. Parang it drives me to work hard on my craft.
What do you want to prove?
I want to prove them that people are more than meets the eye. Parang you should never judge somebody because tattooed siya. You should never judge somebody of how he or she dresses up. I want to break yung barrier or yung perception ng physical appearance lang.
What are you looking for in your life?
As a child, I feel na okay, I think narating ko na yung gusto kong sabihin sa mga tao.
Which is
Tattoos are not hindrances to become somebody who's successful, somebody who's good at something.
ilan taong ka nung una ka na in love?
Naku.
Nasa love na tayo.
Love na
Kasi
tayo.
napansin ko ang tattoo mo, tinan mo yung kamay mo.
True.
Love and
And
hate. Bakit naman may hate dun sa other side and you sa love?
Ang story dito is, kasi nga, loner, diba? So I only had isang friend sa college na total opposite sa akin. Like, sabi ko sa kanya, ito na lang ganap ka, papatato ko love and hate. Tapos may pinakilala ka sa akin, tapos bet ko, I'm gonna raise my right hand
Love.
to indicate, ay gusto ko to, yung tong taong to. But if I
Pag
reach for the
hate,
left, gano'n naman.
Hindi ko gusto to.
Parang slow muna tayo dyan. Parang may something. Ganun.
So yun ang meaning ng love and hate.
Tapos ganyan ako sa'yo, di ba, love? Kasi love eh.
Love ako.
Ay,
Never kang
parang-
nagandahan na attract sa isang babae.
Nagandahan na attract, yes, but not in a like, parang love, parang romantic way. Pag may nagandahan ako or may nagustuhan akong babae, it was more of like, ay, gusto kong maging ganyan soon. Parang ganon.
Yes. Ilan
So-
taong ka nung una ka na in love?
16? 16 years old, yung masasabi kong like, may emotional investment na talaga. Tapos may mga naramdaman ka na talagang mga sakit at mga puot. Sa mga
Wala
walang
ring
label
label.
dyan. Ayun, si bakla nag-assume
Na kayo.
na kami.
Straight ba yun? Yung...
Yeah, he's straight.
So, na-in love ka, hindi siya in love sa'yo, umasa ka.
Sabi naman daw niya, love na naman niya ako as friend.
Aray!
As a
Ano
friend.
yun, masakit. As a
As
friend.
a friend.
Minahal ka as a friend.
As a friend. Ayun.
Oo.
First time ko narinig yun.
Yung second, ano, kamusta yun yung na-in love ka?
Yung second naman is quite a controversial.
Nox.
Kasi may following din sa social media.
Oh.
But to make it short, when we broke up, inadmit naman niya na he did it for clout. Ginawang advert promotion agency si bakla.
O, two kinds of pain yan.
True.
Number one, is sa first love, umasa. Sa pangalawa, used.
True.
Medyo nagamit. Oo.
Ang mas masakit sa second episode is parang I felt so stupid. Parang
Sa talino mong
true,
yan.
like
Di ba?
sabi nga ng mom ko valedictorian ka, grade school, high school, ganun. Tapos,
Nagpakatanga sa pag-ibig.
true. So, ano nangyari is, for 2 or 3 years straight, parang I don't have anyone in a serious relationship. Like, parang bumalik yung stage ko before na, inom dito, party everywhere. Yung mga na-meet ko is just for casual, paano bang sabihin? Mga one-night stands,
Hookups.
o mga hookups, ganun. Mga meet and greet. At that time, I'm not saying this as a fact. Yun yung nafe-feel ko at that time. Na,
Based on your experience.
Yes, na walang magseseryosong lalaki.
So, paano na ngayon? Kasi you're now in a relationship.
I'm now in a relationship, Heidi. He's the first person to stay at home na I never treated him well. Hindi ko siya vinalue talaga for the first 2 months na nandun siya sa bahay. Kasi I was just thinking na, itong taong to is just here kasi nakikitira, nakikisabay or may agenda siguro online, ganun. So he was just there. Tapos na-realize ko na I was being very inhumane. Parang, nakakasakit na ako ng tao. Kasi one time, nag-open up na siya na I'm not treating him well daw. And I realized that, oh my God, I was so unfair because I'm becoming the person who hurt me. Oh my God, nag-transform ako into my ex. Like, my ex treated me this way. And I'm treating my present partner this way.
So, yung sinabi niyo yun, nagising ka ba? Like, nagkaroon ng self-realization. Kasi ngayon, alam mo na yung ginagawa sa'yo, ginagawa mo sa kanya.
Hindi ko kasi ginamit yung heart ko siguro because I was scared.
Mhm.
So, doon ko na-realize na I was wrong.
So, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy now is this. Like, honestly, it might be a cheesy answer, but nakarating ako dito tells me that I did something. Naiiyak ako.
Ay, ako may tissue.
Baka
May tubig pa.
Baka mawala yung tattoo. No, because I never expected to go to places. And I know, ang OA ni bakla, like I never expected to have opportunities like this, to talk about life, to talk about ano.
What you've been through.
So what makes me happy now is yung sunod-sunod na blessings. Na-realize ko na it's not really raining every time. Lately ko lang na-experience na everything is positive, is joyous. Para lang COVID na positive. Pero parang lately ko lang na-experience na when I go home, when I go to work, when I go on weekends, everything is just happy. Kasi before everything has to be a day of struggle na, sino na namang natin ngayon, i-debate natin online ngayon. But now it's more of, I'm still overwhelmed with the welcoming presence sa tao, ganon. Everybody who has tattoos, they easily get judged. At I'm lucky lang ako is because I had the opportunity to have something like this, to talk about something. But there are people who can't speak up for themselves. So as far as as possible, parang I want to be the voice for these people.
Who don't have a voice.
Who don't have the voice yet. Because of course they're...
Yeah, so now you have a voice and people are following you, people recognize you. 'di ba? Nakakuha mo na yung acceptance.
True.
Meron ng mga love, mas marami na yung love kaysa sa hate and
Very
judgment
true.
from the people. So, how do you handle yung platform na meron ka ngayon?
Stay humble. Always remember where you came from. And always speak not just for yourself. In a positive way, ha? Always remember that you're also representing a community, not just the tattoo community, but also the LGBT community.
So, that's what you stand for.
That's what I stand for talaga.
So, when people look at you, what do you want them to see?
I want them to see somebody who's gay, proudly who's gay, who's tattooed, and is still breaking barriers. Like break stereotypes within stereotypes.